The biggest football match on earth was almost finished. It was the 105th minute of the 2026 World Cup final. Spain played against Argentina at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, USA. The many fans in the stadium were exhausted, but also full of anticipation. Millions more watched around the world, all on the edge of their seats, holding their breath. The score was still 0-0. Then, something special happened. Lamine Yamal, a young Spanish player, was only 18 years old. He was having the best game of his life. He ran very fast down the right side of the field. Two Argentine defenders tried hard to stop him, but Yamal was too skillful. He kept the ball very close to the end line, near where it would go out. Just before it left the field, he sent a perfect pass high into the penalty box, right near the goal. A Spanish player headed the ball softly. It went to Ferran Torres. Torres was a substitute player, meaning he had started the game on the bench. He had only been playing for a short time, coming in during the 62nd minute. He kicked the ball hard and low from very close range. Argentina's goalkeeper, who had made a record-breaking 11 saves that night, could not stop this shot. The ball went into the net. Spain scored. It was 1-0 for Spain in the 106th minute. This was the decisive goal that won the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Spain defeated Argentina by 1 goal in extra time.
This important victory gave Spain its second World Cup title, their first since 2010. It stopped Lionel Messi and Argentina from winning their second championship in a row, which they had wanted for 4 years. But this final game was much more than just a score. The entire tournament, with its sprawling 48 teams, was the biggest in history, held across 3 countries. People wonder how such a huge, complex event led to this one breathless moment at MetLife Stadium. How did it all come down to this intense minute? To truly understand the weight of Spain's 1-0 victory, we must go back to the beginning. We need to uncover the intense drama, the controversial red cards that changed the game, and the chaos behind the scenes. These things defined the biggest football match on earth. What exactly happened before Lamine Yamal's magical run and Ferran Torres' stunning goal decided the World Cup? 2. The big game. The World Cup final was a match of 2 very different ways to play football. Spain, often called La Roja, wanted to win their second World Cup. Argentina, the reigning champions, hoped to win 2 times in a row, a very hard thing to do. The game was held at MetLife Stadium, packed with excited fans. From the very start, Spain showed their usual style. They kept the ball for most of the game, passing it carefully from player to player. They had almost all the ball possession, trying to break through Argentina's defense. They created many good chances to score goals. Argentina, however, played a different game. They were forced to defend deeply, often with all their players behind the ball. They could barely get the ball out of their own half. For the entire 90 minutes of regular time, the score stayed 0-0. Spain pushed and pushed, but Argentina had an amazing goalkeeper, Emiliano Martinez. He was the main reason the score did not change. Martinez made an incredible 11 saves, which set a new record for any World Cup final. He seemed to stop everything, keeping his tired team in the game. Argentina did not manage to have a single shot on goal during those 90 minutes. This was an unthinkable statistic for a team that had scored in every single match of the tournament before this final. Many people wondered how a team could survive so long without even trying to score. The game was full of tension, which grew higher with each passing minute. Deep into the second half's stoppage time, a critical moment arrived. Enzo Fernandez, a tough midfielder for Argentina, committed a foul. The referee immediately showed him a second yellow card, which meant a red card. Enzo had to leave the field. Argentina was now playing with only 10 men. This was a harsh blow for Argentina. The referee, Slavko Vincic, had no choice but to show the red card in the 3rd minute of stoppage time. Argentina was already exhausted and now had fewer players. They had to face another 30 minutes of extra time against a relentless Spanish team that never stopped attacking. It seemed like an impossible challenge. The tension in the stadium reached a boiling point. The world watched to see if Argentina could find a way to survive this immense pressure. The best players. After the final whistle, many numbers and awards were given. Some were expected, but others were a big surprise. These awards showed who the best players were in the tournament. The Golden Boot Award goes to the player who scores the most goals. This year, it was Kylian Mbappé from France. He scored 10 goals in the tournament. This was a special win for him, as he became the first player in World Cup history to win the Golden Boot twice. Lionel Messi from Argentina was second with 8 goals. For the best goalkeeper, the Golden Glove Award went to Unai Simon of Spain. He had a great tournament. He kept 7 clean sheets. This means he stopped the other team from scoring in 7 out of 8 games. This is a truly remarkable record for a World Cup. Emiliano Martinez, Argentina's goalkeeper, also showed an amazing performance in the final. He made 11 saves, which is a new record for a World Cup final match. Even though Argentina lost, his efforts were clear. But the biggest surprise was the Golden Ball Award. This award is for the best player overall in the tournament. Many people thought a famous attacker would win it. But it went to Rodri, Spain's quiet holding midfielder. This was a big decision. Rodri is not a player who scores many goals or makes flashy plays. His work is to control the middle of the field and protect his team's defense. He helped Spain keep the ball and stop other teams from attacking. He organized Spain's strong team play, making them a very difficult team to beat. Spain's success came from their collective system, not just one superstar. Rodri had already won the Ballon d'Or in 2024, showing his quality in controlling games. Another young Spanish player, Pau Cubarsí, won the Best Young Player award. He showed great talent in the tournament. Spain's team had been very strong for a long time. They had not lost a game in regular time since March 2024. This long winning streak showed how good their team system was. They won the 2024 European Championship too. Yet, despite all these awards and Spain's strong team, one famous player had a very quiet final. Lionel Messi, the legendary captain of Argentina, barely touched the ball. Spain's defense stopped him from playing his usual game. After the game, millions of fans wondered, was this the last time they would see Messi play for his country? His future in international football was now a big question. 4. The last game. A heavy emotional cloud hung over the final game for Argentina's captain, Lionel Messi. He was 39 years old, and this World Cup marked his 6th appearance, a remarkable record for any player. Millions of fans watched, wondering if this heartbreaking defeat would truly be his very last game for his country. Messi had, after his triumph in 2022, suggested that the Qatar World Cup would be his final one. Yet he famously reversed his decision and returned to lead Argentina once more in North America for 2026. This time, the discussions about his retirement felt different. They were not just rumors. The uncertainty was real, even for those closest to him. Throughout the match, Spain's suffocating defense effectively shut down Messi. He found it incredibly difficult to get involved in the play. He touched the ball only a handful of times in the first half, and by the end of the entire game, he had managed just over 50 touches. This was remarkably few for a player of his world-class caliber. Spain's game plan was clear: deny Messi any space and keep him from creating chances. He never had a clear shot at goal. After the final whistle blew and Spain celebrated their victory, Messi sat alone on the turf. He appeared visibly emotional and deeply sad. Several Spanish players, showing respect, crossed the field to embrace him. He remained seated for some time, reflecting on the loss, before eventually rising to accept his runner-up medal. Argentina's coach, Lionel Scaloni, was asked directly about Messi's future in international football. He did not give a clear response. Scaloni simply said that Messi always surprised him and that he had no real idea what his captain would decide. It seemed that even those closest to the football legend were kept in the dark about his next steps. Messi himself later spoke about the deep meaning of representing Argentina. He explained that the value of playing for his nation could not be reduced simply to the color of a medal, whether gold or silver, given everything the national shirt and badge meant to him. The critical question of whether Messi will play in the upcoming 2030 World Cup remains completely unresolved. While reports suggested he might continue to play for Argentina through their next continental championship cycle, a 7th World Cup appearance, at what would be the age of 43, is considered very unlikely by any realistic measure. Therefore, Messi's true final chapter in international football remains unwritten. A massive question mark continues to hang over the sport's most famous and beloved face, leaving millions of fans holding their breath about his future. 5. A big World Cup. The 2026 World Cup was truly enormous. It was the first time that 48 national teams took part, a big jump from the 32 teams in past tournaments. This expanded format meant many more matches and a much wider spread of countries. The entire tournament involved 104 games played over 39 days. These matches happened in 16 cities across 3 different countries: the United States, Mexico, and Canada. It was the largest World Cup ever in terms of scale and the number of teams. One of the most surprising stories came from Cabo Verde, a small island nation in West Africa. They were playing in their very first World Cup, making them true debutantes on this global stage. Against all odds, they went unbeaten through their group stage matches, showing great football. Later, they faced the defending champions Argentina in the round of 32. Cabo Verde played an incredible game, coming back from behind twice. They nearly pulled off the biggest upset in football history, only losing by a score of 3-2 in extra time. Their performance captured the hearts of many fans around the world. Despite this excitement, the three host nations did not fare so well. Canada, Mexico, and the United States all wanted to go far in the competition. However, none of them managed to get past the round of 16. Canada lost to Morocco, Mexico fell to England, and the United States was defeated by Belgium 4-1. Their early exits were a big disappointment for local supporters in all three countries. Even though the home teams left early, the World Cup continued to draw huge crowds. Stadiums across the United States, Mexico, and Canada were packed for almost every match. The tournament broke all previous attendance records, easily passing the mark set by the 1994 World Cup, which was also held in the United States. This was a testament to the global appeal of football. The sheer logistical challenge of hosting such a massive event was immense, from managing travel for 48 teams to installing temporary natural grass fields in stadiums like MetLife, where the final was held. The preparations were enormous. This created a spectacle that many people were not fully prepared for, showcasing football on an unprecedented scale. The music show. The World Cup final had a big new part, a music show during halftime. This was the first time FIFA, the World Football Organization, tried something like the American Super Bowl show. Many people had different opinions about it. Some liked this new entertainment, but others thought it did not fit football's oldest and simplest traditions. The show lasted for 11 minutes. Chris Martin, the singer from the band Coldplay, helped to curate the event. It brought together many famous music stars. The roster included Madonna, Shakira, the K-pop group BTS, and Justin Bieber. Other artists like Burna Boy, conductor Gustavo Dudamel, a New York school choir, and even the Muppets also appeared. It was a very big and planned production. FIFA worked with an organization called Global Citizen for the show. Their goal was to raise $100 million.
This money would help children around the world get education and play sports. Gianni Infantino, the president of FIFA, saw this as a historic moment. He felt it was right for the biggest sports event in the world. Normally, a football halftime break is only 15 minutes. The long music show made people wonder if the break would need to be longer. This showed how American entertainment was now part of the World Cup. Some people felt this was a good evolution for football, making it more exciting. Others worried it would dilute the pure spirit of the game. People felt a strong ambivalence about these changes. After the spectacular music faded and the glittering stages were cleared away, the players returned to the pitch. The world then snapped back to the nerve-wracking reality of the game. The score was still 0-0, a tense deadlock. The second half of the biggest football match was about to begin. 7. Problems outside. The 2026 World Cup was a truly massive event, full of exciting football and record-breaking crowds. Yet, away from the bright lights and cheering fans, serious problems were happening just outside the stadiums. These were not about the game itself, but about the social and political issues in the host country, the United States. They cast a long, uncomfortable shadow over the celebration, reminding everyone that real-world struggles continued. During the many weeks of the tournament, U.S. immigration policy repeatedly caused difficulties. These strict rules intersected with the event in very direct ways. For example, a referee from Somalia named Omar Artan was stopped from entering the United States.
This denial was a clear consequence of a travel ban. President Donald Trump's administration had put this ban into effect in 2025, stopping citizens from nearly 40 countries from entering the U.S. Other national teams also faced similar challenges. Iran's football team, for instance, had to change their main training camp. They moved it from Arizona in the U.S. to Tijuana, Mexico. This decision came because many of their support staff were unsure if their visas would be approved. While the players themselves could usually enter for games, numerous staff members had their visa applications rejected. The team often had to travel back and forth across the border after playing each match. Another major concern was the presence of agents from Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, at the World Cup venues. U.S. Department of Homeland Security officials confirmed that ICE agents would be at the stadiums. This public statement seemed to contradict earlier promises. Before the tournament, the State Department had reportedly assured local host cities that ICE would not be stationed inside the venues. Because of this uncertainty and the potential risks, more than 120 immigrant rights organizations released a formal travel advisory. This warning informed international visitors about possible dangers they might face. Human rights groups, like Amnesty International, also highlighted serious concerns related to the event, pointing out the high number of people deported from the U.S. each year. FIFA, the international football organization, chose to distance itself from these immigration enforcement matters. A spokesperson stated that decisions about visas were the responsibility of national governments, not the sport's governing body. These dark, off-pitch conflicts created a stark difference from the message of global unity that FIFA promoted. The serious nature of these problems threatened to derail the joyful spirit of the entire competition. It showed that even the biggest sporting event in the world could not fully escape the complex and difficult realities of the world around it. 8. What happens next? The 2026 World Cup ended, but football never stops. Everyone now looks to the future, to the next big tournament. The 2030 World Cup will be very special. It marks 100 years since the first World Cup was played in 1930. This time, 3 countries will host most of the games: Spain, Portugal, and Morocco. To celebrate the 100-year centennial, a few special opening games will also happen in South America, in Uruguay, Argentina, and Paraguay. This brings the tournament back to where it all began a century ago. Spain, the new champion, has clearly built a strong dynasty. They won the 2026 World Cup with excellent teamwork and smart play. Their quiet midfielder, Rodri, was named the best player, showing that collective effort matters most. Young stars like Lamine Yamal and Pau Cubarsí showed great talent, promising a bright future for Spanish football. Spain's victory was not about one shining player, but about how the whole team worked hard together, showing great defensive solidity. They had not lost a game in almost 2 years, highlighting their amazing dominance in world football. Then there is the question of Lionel Messi. Many people wonder if he will play in 2030. At 39 years old in 2026, he was still a legend, playing in his 6th World Cup. However, playing at 43 years old in 2030 is very unlikely. His future with the national team is still not fully clear, but he might play in other games before then. The 2026 final left his final chapter unwritten, a story for time to tell. The 2026 World Cup was more than just a football match. It was a huge event that showed many different things about the world. There were record-breaking crowds in giant stadiums across the US, Mexico, and Canada. There was a big music show at halftime, a first for the World Cup final, which made people talk a lot. But there were also serious issues, like tough US immigration rules that caused problems for some referees and team staff trying to enter the country. These challenges and controversies reminded everyone that even a joyful sports event happens in a complex world, mirroring society's hopes and struggles. In the end, the 2026 final was decided by a single goal, 1-0 in extra time. It was a classic, tense game, showing the simple beauty of football, where two teams fight hard until the very last moment. This game, with its tight score and all the big stories around it, will forever be remembered in sports history. It was a mirror showing us the game and the world at the same time. The trophy has been lifted, but the next era of football is still unwritten. Who was your favorite player in the 2026 World Cup, and do you think Messi will return in 2030?
Hey there! Just a second before you go. If you learned something new today, please give this video a like, write your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to the channel. It only takes a second, and it really, really helps to create even better English videos for you. Your support means the world,